Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to Raiders Coast to Coast, along with myself, 401 Raider Jeff, and my guy sitting next to me, LV Raider 10.
What up, everybody?
How you doing today?
Chilling. We're good today. Good.
Good. We've got some stuff lined up for everybody tonight. All right. So first, we'll get into talking about the head coaching issues, and we've got some talk about Mendoza and the number one pick, and we've got a special guest that's going to come on in a moment that's going to discuss this along with us.
What up,
and we've got a game for you again tonight. Nate put this one together. So when we're ready, Nate will take over at that point, and he's running the game tonight. So you don't have to listen to me talk about it. So I'm going to introduce this gentleman right now. Anybody that's been in the chat the last few days, you've seen him in the chat. I'm going to bring him in, and he can introduce himself after I bring him in, and we'll get this thing started. So without further ado, here is Sal. What is up,
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
What's up,
What
man?
up?
Nothing. I just appreciate you guys bringing me on. You know, I've been supporting you guys for a while, and I'm glad you guys are giving people the platform as fans to, dialogue and have a conversation about X and O's and our future. And yeah, I'm ready to get to it, man. I got some collegiate experience for quite a few years inside on the field, not playing as a walk-on, but as a strength coach intern as well. You know, having colleagues in the league and in the collegiate level still to this day. I'm just really looking forward to getting into the topics, man, and giving some insight to these fans. And I think we all need to open our eyes a little bit more on a few things.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. Just let the fans that are watching in the chat know. What schools did you play for? Like, where did you attend?
I was at UConn as a walk-on under Edsel in 2010 and 11. That Fiesta Bowl year where Peterson ran all over us and I redshirted that year I've never seen a team bigger like that in person in my entire life. That was Jason White in your Peterson year. The year after, Pasqualoni came in from Dallas to become the new coach after Edsel took the staff to Maryland, and a lot of us kind of got canned and went to Western Connecticut for a year just to put up some kind of numbers and some kind of film. I wasn't a preferred walk, and I tried out at WVU. I made the team for a year at West Virginia University. Didn't pan out. I played quarterback, and then I moved to dogbacker and Sam, and wound up moving over to the strength and conditioning side, and was under Mickey Mariotti at Ohio State on Urban Meyer's second to last year. Amazing experience. And
cool.
Yeah, I was good. I know I was planning on transferring there, and they wanted me to come in as a GA, but credits weren't transferring. I'll already back into school for 2 more years, and I've already been in for 3. So I went back to WVU, interned there, and didn't work out too well. So I'm in the oil field now. So blue collar life.
Hey, you know what though? You had an experience, something that I was never able to experience. So I mean, that's awesome that you were able to make it that far and do what you did.
Yeah, it was good to also see my brother. He played under Charlie Strong and Taggart over at South Florida. He played safety, and special teams over there. So it was good to at least see my brother on the field, and just share that experience with family. So yeah.
How long have you been a Raiders fan? Like, when did you become a Raiders?
5 years old, and I was born in 92. First jersey was Bo Jackson. Next jersey was Bolintikoff. Next jersey was Stabler. Been to the Coliseum at least 10 different times. Been on the East Coast to a lot of games. Just haven't made it to Vegas yet. No disrespect to our team, we haven't been relevant, so it's not worth spending the money.
Hey, it's not an easy sale.
No, but I'll tell you what, though. My last ever game, my second to last game was the last game in the Coliseum we played when Stafford was on the Lions. Carr and Gruden were there, and it was our game-winning touchdown to Renfro, and then we stopped him on the 1, and Joseph broke up that ball, who's a close friend of mine still, Carr Joseph. It was a great way to finish my time in the Coliseum, and just wish we had that culture back in Vegas. And we just, from what I see, it's unfortunate, man. I think we're in a really big big. We have a lot of problems, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, unfortunately. Let's just hit up the chat. Let's see who's here with us tonight. So we got Tanner Jackson in the building. And yes, you heard correct. Webb did withdraw his name from the run for the Raiders at this point.
Yeah.
Raiders, Jason, Raiders first down is here. Big Luck is in the house. Donuts Duncan is here. Anthony A.O., what's up, my guy? Jay Raid is here. Thank you for reposting that. I appreciate that. Alex is in the house. John Raider is here. What's up, John Raider? I get all my news all day long.
What up, John?
Stuff on Instagram all day of what's coming out. You know, I don't even have to go on Instagram to go and look. It just, as soon as it pops, boom, he forwards it to me. So it's like, it's perfect. He's like my own, basically like my media person. I love it. I love it. Don't ever stop sending that stuff, man. Donuts is a tune out of the show because we're going to hear more terrible takes on Mendoza.
Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad, man.
Heartbreaking. I'm Team Mendoza. Money Chuck's in the house. Daniel Berry's here. Marcus Banks.
What up, Daniel Berry?
What's up, Marcus?
Marcus Banks.
Let's see. And Chris Gonzalez. Who's going to be a better team first, Panthers or Raiders? Right now, my money would be on the Panthers.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the
gotta
Panthers
put my
are
money on
already.
that.
I mean, they made the playoffs already, so they won up. So let's get into the head coaching search. So we all have our personal favorites. We talked about it last night on the connection. So I know Nate is on the Kubiak, correct, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I sit. So Tal, where are you in the coaching hunt? What's the guy that you're looking for?
You know, at one point, I was just thinking realistic scenario is that I would have liked Webb and Kingsbury to come back together from Texas Tech origins and develop this offense, an explosive offense. I think we need to spread the field more, let the receivers be outside the hashes, and let it be a 5-on-5 game with Genty. And I think that's what would have been really nice to see. In a realistic world, I would want Kubiak. I do. I mean, but do you want me to go on my theory of what's going on right now that I think?
And the floor is yours. Go for it. You're the guest.
People aren't going to like this, man, but I have to go into it. I don't trust Brady, even the slightest bit. I'll tell you why. Even before he was the part owner, and Davis gave him a mistake, he had his voice in Davis's ear to advocate for McDaniels, advocate for Jimmy G. And from that point on, it's always been Tom Brady's voice in Davis's ear. It's always been that way. And if we have been so dysfunctional since, I mean, not going back to 2002, but even 16, Del Rio I think he did a great job. Do I believe that he should have had longer term? Yes, I do believe that he should have. Gruden, listen, I'm just going to put my foot down on this. This is not me just being an advocate Gruden lover. I'm just being realistic here. He's the only functional thing we have had for this decade. Let's not talk about the draft picks. At the end of the day, he's some of those draft picks with what's his name again? I'm drawing a blank right now. Why am I having a blank? Mayock, yeah. When he brought in Mayock, I didn't agree with a lot of it either. Let's just be real. I didn't. But he still built that core. That core Raider culture that we had with Waller, Crosby, Carr, Jake. Like, he brought these guys together, and these were the guys that bought into his program to push it on to the rest of the team. And we were building something. We were progressing every year. We were 3-1 that one last year he was on there, right? The emails and everything came out. He got blackballed. Davis had no choice from Goodell to get rid of him. Bisaccia did a phenomenal job for what he did. And I don't think any fan can sit here and tell me that if Gruden didn't get blackballed or if Bisaccia got a second term, bringing in Devontae Adams with Derek Carr, that the numbers they put up with McDaniels' offense, that he wouldn't have done even a better statistical year, both of them. And we would have been more of a contender. That team was dispersed. It was gone. We were dysfunctional even with that group with McDaniels at the helm. And it's gotten to a point where you're starting to see even I talked to Miles Burris, actually, and I know him pretty well. and he goes on different social media platforms, there's getting talks around the league where no coach that's been interviewing for us even know who the leader in the room is. And you got a guy like Brady, who I don't care what I mean, you can have your own opinion, but a guy that is part owner, who's now apparently has the say of the organization, that is on NFL Fox, talking to other teams, going on podcasts, going on shows. I can't trust that. You got to be a guy in the room that's in there every day, week in and week out, day in and day night, figuring out what we're going to do. And there's nothing. We don't hear anything. All we hear is like different things that come out like, oh, he's the leading candidate, or he's the leading candidate. This is what we're going to do with Mendoza. This is what we're not going to. It is so dysfunctional. I mean, as far as like Cleveland goes, we are right there because they're a whole other game. I don't know what they're doing and why they decide to, the owner and the GM they're telling coaches that are applying for those jobs, like, hey, you got to keep the DC, you got to keep the special teams coordinator. How it starts in the locker room with a coaching experience I've had in collegiate football and even the NFL, it's a proven fact. When a coach comes in, head coach comes in, the strength coach is the number one job that picked up right after. It is the number one job, and it's no fishy to me that Deuce Gruden has been there the entire time. That's all I'm saying, fellas. I'm not saying. I think I'm going to tell you right now. If Gruden came back, I would not be upset, even the slightest bit, because we've had function with him. The players bought in with him. You've had Crosby and other players advocate for him. He's in the building every day in his own facilities, X and Oing it. Now he's working with receivers now for the draft. He's always working. This guy is always staying up to date with the game. I'm not saying is that we would go back to what we did before with him. I think it'd be a different scenario with Spytech. Spytech is now the GM. They'll have another ear in the draft room. And I just, guys, I don't see why it's such a bad thing if he were to come back. I just don't see it. We are in trouble. We keep trying to advocate for a young guy to come in, which I want. But everyone's turning away the job. They don't want it. Like they don't know who the leader is in the room. That's my thing. We need a guy that brings structure to a building, the old school mentality that players buy into right off the jump. You got a guy like Crosby and other players that have that witnessing experience with him. And I don't know, boys. That's just where I think it's been going on. I can't trust Brady right now. Until he shows me otherwise. And he brings in Kubiak and things start to roll around, I can't trust the guy. I just can't, especially the guy that ruined our franchise. I can't.
Well,
I don't know. It's just what I don't know.
I get your point with Gruden. And some people will say, no, he screwed us over. Technically, he really didn't when he had no choice but to leave. And we don't know the full outcome of what the rest of his contract.
Well, and so before we continue, I'll just say one more thing. Diana Rossini is probably the most reliable source in the NFL on reporting. She by far is. She even posted that there is a gentleman that has been meeting with a second interview this Friday or Saturday with the Raiders that is an undisclosed person. So by law, if you're a private person outside of an organization, you have the right to not disclose anything, and the team has to abide by it. But if you're with the team, they have to publicly put it out there. I'm just saying, it's not probably financially a bad thing for us either. There's something in between where him and Davis had some kind of conversation where maybe we'll pick it up at that. But just something's going on. I don't think it's no coincidence that Deuce has been in the building this whole time. Gruden told Crosby, I'll be back soon. Maybe it's full circle. He won his appeal. He won his court case with the Supreme Court. And now the NFL now is trying to appeal it again because they know they're losing this. So, and now you're seeing teams like the Jets and other organizations put out, hey, we offered him the job, he turned it down. So now it's open to the public that this guy is looking to get a job. So, I mean, would I be upset if he comes back? No, but I would be really happy if we got Kubiak. I would be. For sure.
Nate, what do you think of that? What he just said, all that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't completely disagree. To play a little bit of devil's advocate, because I mean, me personally, I love John Gruden. I love his football mind. I think he's a great coach. But then obviously, his draft picks have not been the greatest.
I
obviously.
agree.
And so the thing is, can you completely blame it on Mike Mayock? Can you completely blame it on John Gruden? Because even now, we still don't completely know the entire story of whose idea was to draft, Cleve Farrell or Leatherwood or whoever, put at that high. If it's all on Mayock, then sure, whatever. But I doubt John Gruden comes in and says, all right, I'm going to completely leave the draft and the analysis to Spytek completely. I don't think that's, plausible because he's such a big personality. And
Yeah.
I think that he's so respected in that organization that they would give him some kind of power to be able to do that. So
There's definitely a
again,
conversation that would have to happen, I feel.
yeah, no,
Well,
I completely agree.
And
But,
I
yeah,
think
that's
that's what scares fans too, is that he's always going
Right.
to have that direct door to Mark Davis, and he's going to bypass Spytek.
Right.
Whereas when he came in with Mayock, it was the two of them together that did all this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because Spytek wasn't there with him at the start, Spytek's already there, and if Gruden comes in, and I think that's what a lot of fans see is, and I know that's how I look at it, is that if there's something he wants to do, he's just going to go to Mark and not even go to Spytek. He's just going to go to Moxie and whisper and say, "Hey, I want to do this, but this guy's not letting me do it. But I think this is really going to help." And Mark's going to be like, "Oh, okay, go ahead and do it," because that's Mark doesn't know. He already said he's not a football guy.
So, fellas, what do we do with if Clint takes the job at Arizona or takes that huge contract in Seattle? What do we do?
That's what I'm most nervous about, me personally, because it seems as of right now, with Webb withdrawing his name from the running, to me it seems like all of our chips, we're being real Vegas-like and putting all of our chips in the middle of the table, saying Kubiak is our guy, and if that doesn't completely work out, we're going to be kind of asked out. Our second option would be LaFleur, and I have not heard.
I don't know if
I haven't heard
like
a peep out of anything about LaFleur. So there has to be some kind of agreement behind closed doors that we're going to go all in on Kubiak, and that's going to be our guy. But again, like you said, not everything is set in stone, especially with the team that's going to play in the Super Bowl. He can't sign anything yet. So even if he has the interview and does the handshake deal, we've seen it multiple times throughout the league history that doesn't mean for sure. That doesn't mean shit until pen goes to paper.
Right.
So if we're asked out and he goes back to Seattle, he wants to run it back for whatever reason, and we're kind of fucked, honestly.
Something, if I were to put another name in the hat who I think he got a short end of the stick is, I don't know how I feel as a head coach, but Jim Schwartz, he had a phenomenal defensive scheme at Cleveland.
Yeah.
Just his offense could not move the ball. And I can't believe that Todd Monken got the job. I don't understand it when you're trying to build for the future.
I don't.
There's got to be successor. There's got to be a successor behind him. I mean, he's not going to last very long. So, not in a rude way. I'm just saying, I can't believe Schwartz didn't get the job. I was shocked by that. Of any job, I was shocked by that one. For sure.
Just shout out to everybody that's joined the chat since we started. I see Raider Ways in here. Raider HE's in here.
What up?
Don't Trip Fools popped in. I see Money Chuck's in here.
No voting for they want that.
Seventh son of Seventh son is here.
Everyone wants to hear it. I like that. Yeah, I like that comment. Listen, man. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be biased. I am a huge fan of his, and and I say this: let the man finish what he started. He was building something, and nobody can deny what he was doing his third season in. You can't deny it, and at this point, I see where fans are going. Like, okay, now we got to go back and wait 3 more years again. I get all that, and I understand. Like, we got to build this all over again. I think it won't be the same. That's just my personal opinion. If I'm wrong at the end of the day, I'm wrong. I'll be the first one to admit it. But it's writing on the wall. So I see where fans are coming from. Like, leave it in the past. Like, we were almost there. We were turning it around, and then this happened. So let's just let it go. I'm not really into that. I think this guy is hungry. I think he wants to get back in it. I don't see him taking any other job. I don't.
And I know Money Chuck said something earlier about him being fired. He wasn't fired. He stepped down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He resigned. And that was when he went to Tampa Bay. That was just a disagreement with him and Al Davis. And
Al Davis, yeah.
Needed him there. Yeah. It's not like he said, I'm leaving you guys, and that's where I'm going. We got something for him.
Yeah. Granted, he did everything with Tony Dungy's guys, but I mean, he still did what he did. And then you got to think, even the year after Tampa Bay, though, he was left with no draft picks, no cap. I mean, you can't blame the guy that when everyone's out, like he's got to start from scratch and got no money, no draft picks. Like that's all. It's a hard gig, man. People don't understand. Like this is nothing. I think also our fans need to understand this job isn't normal NFL head coaching job. You got to have the grit. You got to have the Raider mentality. You got to have the nastiness. And we haven't had it since this guy's been gone. Bisaccia carried off the torch. I wish he got a second term, but we haven't. There's just no one out there that I see has that for any of us. Like, I just don't. Like, if you're going off just offensive mindset, Kubiak's the guy, 100%. I love his mindset. I love if his brother came in with him on it and he ran the offense too. But fellas, I'm worried that this guy's going to stay in Seattle or he's going to Arizona. I think he's got more of an asset in Arizona. I do. Like, I think he's got weapons on defense. He's got a young receiver. He's got a young tight end. He's got Kyler Murray back there. I mean, they're not a bad football team, Arizona. They are not a bad football team. They lose these games. They don't get beat up on. They lose them from themselves every week, week in and week out.
And I've heard Leo say this too about Brady in Vegas. Leo said that you can't go anywhere in Vegas. And Nate, you've probably seen it. You've been to Vegas a few times. Brady's likeness is everywhere in that city.
It's everywhere, yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's part of the reason why he wanted to be part owner of the team. I mean, it's making money for his brand too. On top
business,
of that,
he's making money regardless if we do good or bad. So this is where I stand. Where I don't think he really cares. Just personal opinion, just from what I see. He's not in the. I don't see. When do you ever see a real report about him with our organization? You mainly see him on NFL Fox or on a podcast, or he's on an interview. He's doing more things outside of the Raider organization than he is with us. If I'm wrong, someone show me otherwise. But that's all I see, and I'm really worried.
Money Chuck said anything but hire a racist trader like Gruden.
Okay. What's
up, Raider Ryan?
We're not getting into that. Listen, I'll just say this. I'll say this one more thing about him, and we can move on. Yeah. Every player that played under Gruden that was of the other race also have all said there was nothing racial about that man by any means. And we are stand by him no matter what. You got Warren Sapp, you got even players outside of the Raiders organization stuck up for this guy. And this was years when he was an ESPN analyst. This wasn't even during the season. This was more of, I think, well, actually, it's not a think, as I know. This got triggered when he went at Goodell on an email and he got butthurt by it. That's what happened. And then he took a shot at him and the Raiders. You know, it's been a history thing with Davis and the NFL. I mean, he went at it with the NFL back then, too. And this was just another. It just is what it is, fellas. Until we find out what happens with that, I mean, clearly you see what's happening. The NFL's losing this battle. Yeah, we'll know. But I mean, he's not the only person that's involved in all this. I mean, there's a lot of guys and there's a lot of people outside the league. Like it's bigger than people know. So I don't know. All I can tell you is I hope we get a coach soon. That's all I can say.
That's true. I mean, there are still other options. You're right. I mean, there's Shula, there's LaFleur that's still out there.
Yeah, but they have to. Yeah, but with those guys, I don't know, boys. Fellas, I don't see the grit. I don't see any of it. The only one I can really see be a good asset to our team is Kubiak. That's all I see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ron Wolf is still alive like a fine wine, better with age. He'd be better than TB12. Just trying to get through these chats. Jay's against it. He's no Gruden 3.0.
It's understandable though. I'm not against anyone that goes against that statement. I mean, it's a fair argument.
Yeah, there's a few of them in here. Yeah,
I know. Trust me. All their platforms I've had these talks and I get the same response. It's okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the end of these chats.
You're good, man.
What's going on, my guy?
What up, dog?
The only player that I can think of who ever really had a problem with him was Jerry Porter, and really Porter his own. Yeah, Porter was a head case too.
Yeah.
even coach says that Gruden's not racist. It was just the way the NFL felt to nix him. Matt Gruden left ESPN high and dry on Monday Night Football commentary, so they slandered him in sports media. Stop.
Guys, you know who would be a great, and if he had the NFL experience, I don't know how you're going to respond to this one, but I love the guy, and I wish he didn't do his tantrums on social media, but Coach JB.
Oh, I love Coach JB.
Dude, he's a guy that's the kind of guy we need I'm not saying like he may know the X's and O's. I'm talking about just a leader of men, put up no BS, stick your nose in the ground and play ball and be aggressive. That's just the way I love his philosophy. I love the way he goes about players and the way he goes about in a game playing calling situation. If he had more of the experience and had an NFL background or even more of a collegiate background and wasn't doing like, all his shit he does all over, on his show, I would, that's the kind, okay, I'll say this, that kind of personality we need. We need that.
Did you see his most recent one he did when they talked about what's his name? Paeva. Did you see that one? He's
yeah.
That's when it leaves with the chat, right?
I sent that to y'all. But honestly, right? I love Coach B. Those are the kind of coaches that I grew up playing for. Is like
an
asshole kind of coach, but that you love to play for. Like they were dicks. Like no, don't get me wrong, but the problem is like those kind of coaches don't fly no more. It's just like you give them some PR training, sure, but that personality is gonna shine through. And
I think they respect it. Players respect it. That's what I think it comes down to. Players respect that kind of attitude. When you got a guy like, I don't know if you guys saw Gannon's his first interview with the speech with the team. Who did he just get signed to as a DC?
Patrick Gannon?
No.
Yeah, no, not Rich Gannon. Sean Gannon. Where did he just go?
Ooh, I don't know.
He just went somewhere. I just watched a video on YouTube Shorts, and it was like he got everyone in the room, and he's like, "Raise your hand if you drove in today. Raise your hand if you drove on the bus. Are we here to work today or what?" And nobody responded. It was a dead silent room, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this guy's in trouble." I don't know, man. I think we can all come to a common ground here. We want to win.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Just want to win. I don't know. I don't know, fellas.
I've heard the Bruce Arians name get kicked around, but nothing recently. That was early in the coaching. But not even
opposed.
Yeah, I'm good with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be I'd be disappointed, but I'd be okay, I guess. And I like that. Gruden was a leader of men. Absolutely, he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that too. Mark wants. I think honestly, this is what it comes. I think Davis, personally. I mean, I could be wrong here. I think he's had it. I think he's had it with Brady in his ear, and like look at it this way: of all the quarterbacks that Brady's been trying to bring in too, I don't think anyone wants to be under management under Brady. I'm not discrediting his career. He was one of the greatest of all time. We can have an argument about who's a better quarterback, Peyton Manning or him, but the guy clearly, he's got the accolades, but he's not an owner. He's not a GM, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around this guy. Because if he was just original owner and it wasn't doing all these, these business investments that he's doing and going off NFL on Fox and talking to all these teams and not being in the room, if he wasn't doing all that and he was in the room with us, I would be like, I'd feel a little bit better about it. But now when I see him not even putting 100% effort, how can you expect me to be okay with this? And I expect our fans know. I'm even taking a shot at our fans. Like, how can you sit here and not understand? Like, be okay with this just because of his accolades that we think he's gonna fix this?
Yeah,
he has no experience, and I'd be as a fellow Raider fan, I think we should all be worried that this guy is halfway in and I don't see any, he's got a lot to prove to me. That's all I got to say. He's got a lot to prove to me. I don't know.
Like Jason just said, dude, I can't just win for once.
That's what I'm saying, man. Just win for That was a good one. Oh yeah, that was two. No, that was 2 years ago. That's right. That was an old one. No wonder he didn't last too long.
Yeah.
And Kubiak, who is the Hort? See, that's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the only one that's been even talked about is LaFleur, and
Yeah.
he might go
LaFleur,
to the
those
Cardinals.
are the two that we've talked to on more than one occasion.
Right, exactly.
I just don't want this to end up like last year. Where we had no choice but to hire somebody like Pete Carroll. You know, that's kind of what it came down to, because we were so far behind on getting that coach in. You know,
If
This
you were to
year-
ask me last year who I wanted, was Ben Johnson, 1,000%.
oh, that's who I think everybody wanted was Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I wanted Vrabel. He was
Or
my
even
number one.
Vrabel. Yeah,
I
look
wanted
what
Vrabel.
the guy's incredible.
Yeah.
And like I said before, as soon as Jared Mayo got fired the last game, we hadn't even started our game yet, and he was already fired. And at that point, I said, "Well, there goes Vrabel. We ain't going to get him. He's going to go right to New England." And that's exactly where he ended up.
I just think there's a common denominator. People don't want to be undermanaged by Tom Brady. That's just my personal opinion.
That's right. Avero's still out there too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know about Avera. That's the only other guy that we've talked to, like, seriously more than once as well, besides the other two guys we've already mentioned.
Yeah.
And I think that's the backup of the backup at this point.
Yeah, right. You see that he was looking at Mendoza because okay. So can we go? I like to respond to this comment actually. We'll get into this topic whenever you guys switch over.
Yeah, Mendoza hype or real?
Oh no, oh no. Do you guys want to talk first? Or do you want me to go on this one?
Oh man, go. I mean,
Go ahead.
Oh boy, a lot of people aren't going to like this one. Let me just clarify to the public and clarify.
We already one person in the chat that says this guy sucks, so I didn't put that up on the screen.
Hey, I appreciate the honesty though, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, hey, whatever.
All right, well, let me just clarify to our fellow fans, my fellow Raider Nation. Mendoza is a good quarterback. He's got tools. However, boys, he had one season at Cal where he was atrocious. The second season he improved, but I'll tell you a stat. He was the most he led the country in Division I and FCS the passes under 10 yards at Cal. That is a crazy stat. So his numbers looked better than what you thought. So let's just get that off the table. Third, he went into Indiana, and I think it's a great thing because I'm from West Virginia in Morgantown, so IUP's down the road. It's not a far drive. So seeing Signetti did what he did and his career path, I think it's incredible what he's done. But you got to face the facts here. Let me just list off some facts for you. He played a shit schedule. Indiana, they did. Let's be real here. There's a lot of teams that played better schedules and quarterbacks that performed in better situations and harder situations. Second, there's a common denominator with his stats. Miami, Penn State, Iowa, Illinois, Maryland, and the first time Oregon. They all have a common denominator. And you know what that is? They all got a pass rush on him, and they used a robber. That's what they did. And guess what happened in Mendoza? If you look up the stats of those games, they are atrocious. They are awful. He was not on point with his throws. He would jitter in the pocket. He would even bail when he has an open pocket. So, and this is also, I'm glad Jeff brought me onto this because I'm trying to explain to even fans coming from a collegiate schools as a quarterback and reading playbooks. So I'm going to tell you something that changed. So when I was with Holgerson, you know how many just take a guess how many plays we had in our playbook.
Fuck.
300.
Wrong. 32.
Oh shit.
Out of 101 formations. So in an RPO offense, he ran air raid with Gino. When Skylar Howard came in and all these other dual threat kids came in, we switched to RPO game. So when we ran it, it was up tempo fast. And all we do is we would do hand signals and we would call out our mic, check to the sideline, go off of our second option playbook, off our playbook or our spreadsheet. He is only reading half a field, Mendoza. I need you guys to understand this. He's reading half a field on an RPO offense. So when I mean RPO,
Thank you. Yeah.
When you're going off as a quarterback and you call out your mic, you're reading. If you're going RPO left and you're running bubble screen in the slant up top on your X receiver, what you are reading is your outside linebacker. First of all, you're reading the D end. If they're crashing or they're going to pick you up, and what you do is you pull it. And he crashes down. You're pulling as a quarterback. Now you got the two options. Now you're either throwing the ball off the bubble, you're hitting the slant off the outside linebacker in a nickel or dime package off the slot corner, and you're going to either take it and run it or you're dumping it. He's not making these incredible reads, guys. He's not doing it. I'll tell you the routes that he runs at Indiana. He runs out. He runs whip, which is another version of an out. He's running mesh. He's not running 15, 25, 30-yard digs like the NFL and other schools were doing, like Vanderbilt. They were doing that. He's running fade, back shoulder fade, and he's running hooks. These are basic things that you learn in high school as a quarterback. I'm telling you guys this. He's in a vanilla offense. The running backs were averaging 5.7 yards a carry. You are set up for success regardless of the scenario. You are set up in a success with a 5.7 yard carry running back. Two of them. You have receivers that are catching everything in their window. So he's putting it. I'm not saying the kid can't throw the deep ball. He's very inaccurate on the deep ball. Let me just tell you that. It is very true. He is inaccurate on the deep ball. When he gets pressure and gets shittery, he throws the ball. He's nowhere near his target. But when he's got a clean pocket and teams aren't using a robber on him and he's not getting disguises, he's throwing the ball on a dime, and he's good at it. I'm not discrediting. He's got tools, fellas. I'm telling you, he's got tools. But if you put Clint Kubiak with this guy, he's gonna have to take years for this kid to learn how to read a whole field. Even in the national championship game, Miami, what they do, they ran 3-2-6 off of a defense, or they ran a 4-2-5 through a nickel and dime. And what they were doing is they were bringing their dog backer up to the line, bringing the Sam towards the line of scrimmage. They're showing cover 0, cover 1 blitz right now. They're bringing everybody. And what they were doing is they would either bring the dog, play him as robber. The Sam will go back into the deep third. So they're in either cover 3 or they're going back to 2. Sometimes they'll go 6 and they're running cloud. What cloud that means is when you're running the hash and it's a strong side, you're playing cover 2 on this side, cover 3 on the other side. So you have to understand this guy. He was put in a perfect situation. The lineman won the MVP of that bowl game. And I'm not discrediting the game that he did against a non-Nick Saban Alabama. I'm not discrediting the Oregon second time around, but what did Oregon not do? They didn't do what they did the first time. They didn't pressure him once. And the throws that he was making, they were already set up through a running game plan where they were just going to pound the shit out of the ball and then go over top. And that's what they did the entire game. That's what they did. And I'm not saying he made the right reads, he made the right calls, but this NFL game is so confusing with defenses that this kid is going to have to read a whole field, slide the protection, which he doesn't do. He doesn't slide protections. He doesn't do it. You could see it on the field. If you know anything about football, he is not going to the line and telling his lineman, we're switching over to Sam to be the Mike. We're switching our 54s to Mike. We're not doing left. We're not doing Ruby. We're not doing lefty Onyx. We're not changing anything. He's not doing it. He'll look to the sideline, clap, look at it, and give a thumbs up, or they do some kind of hand signal for the next play. That's all they're doing with this kid. And I just think as fans, we're in this narrative, and I think you guys can agree, if you win the Heisman, you win the Natty. You have to pick the kid number 1. And it's 100% truth. And I think as fans, like when you really dissect this kid, he's got an awkward running motion, awkward. He's the way, I mean, I don't know how to say this in a different way, but I don't think players in the locker room would take him seriously how goofy he is. It's an NFL team. This is different. I don't think he was the leader in the locker room. I think Signetti was the leader in the locker room, period. And Mendoza just took the reins and followed through with it. I think this is just a different ball game for the kid. If we get him and I'm wrong, I will be the first one to go live with you guys and said, I fucked up. I'm wrong.
I'll be second right there too.
But you're showing me as a quarterback and been in the game since I was 5 that knows tendencies and knows X's and O's and what this kid is doing. And you look at even those passes he threw at the national title game. That kid Becker saved this kid off multiple throws. Saved him. Carson Beck was making more reads than this kid was making. There's just a different game when you're reading a defense through 3, 4, 5 different progressions. It's a different game. I think Mendoza needs to be in the perfect scenario, and this is what I'm saying about him. He's a game manager. He's not a changer. He's not. And I think we, as fans, we deserve a game changer for all that we've been through. I mean, you go as far as Carr, how many comeback wins he had at one point. We need a guy to take over a game and said, yo, put this game on my back. I got this. And I don't think he's that guy, boys. I don't think he's it. He's had an incredible year. But if you put him in a draft class from the last 10 years, he's not a top third round pick. He's not. No shot. He's just not, to me. I think this was a very weak quarterback class. And I think what we should do as a fan base is sit back and think about how much we control the draft room right now. And I think we should trade back. Crosby's never had a guy on the other end pass rushing. You know how dangerous that would be with Ruben Bain on the other side of Crosby?
Oh, but he's mid.
Oh my God, yes.
People were calling him mid. That was Tuesday night's chat you were on, right? Don't you remember that in the chat Tuesday night?
Did anyone watch the national title game? He was doing what Crosby was doing. He does this every game.
People in the chat were calling Bain mid. He's a mid player.
Okay. I'm sorry. Everyone has an opinion, but you're watching a different game than I'm watching. That dude, even on run plays, they run outside zone, and he's running down the markers trying to be the first one to touch the ball. Like, that kid is a freak athlete. I think him and Crosby would actually dominate the line of scrimmage, and I think we should, find another nasty D tackle for us at some point. And I think we get Bain. We draft Proctor as a guard. This is just my personal opinion. This is what I think we should do. Bain, get Proctor. I think we sign Joel Bitonio as a lineman. JPJ moves to center. We try to find a way to bring in Braden Smith as well to go right tackle. Get dark horse in the draft. Mark my words on this. Malachi Fields as a receiver. Kid is a deep threat, jump ball, fast as shit receiver out of Notre Dame. Get Anthony Hill at linebacker, or get Romeo Height, or even what's his name from Michigan, Jaheim Barsham. I just think we need to build the inside out. That's what I think we need to do. We need to we need to go back to the Raider way of being nasty, and I think that's what we need to do. I don't think we're ready for Mendoza. That's what I also say is I don't think we're ready for this kid who's also has a lot of question marks. And I think if we trade back, we get a first-round pick for next year of a team that's shit, which is probably going to be the Jets. I mean, we have an opportunity to grab a quarterback at that point with a huge opportunity at a class like that. But people have their opinion, but I think we're all on this narrative. Like, it's this proven fact. Like, college wins do not translate to the NFL by any means. John Elway didn't win.
No. I think the other thing, too, is it's – all right, listen, Arnie just asked this question. Who's better than Mendoza as QB in this draft? There is nobody.
I don't think anybody.
No.
And the only reason Mendoza is slated as the number one overall pick is because we're picking number one, or the Jets would be picking number one, and we're both quarterback-needy teams. Mendoza is not the consensus number one overall pick in this draft. And I'm not knocking the kid's talent. I've said this I don't know how many times, so I'm blue in the face. I'm not. I just know that we need to go a different path in rebuilding this team.
Absolutely.
And grabbing him is not the answer. Okay? Everybody's got this vision of he's going to come in and be the savior. We only need a quarterback. We are far and away from just having a quarterback and being successful. If anybody wants to have any type of success, we need to build a complete team. And we don't have that right now. We have barely any talent in the skill positions. We got two guys I can count, and that's Genty and Brock Bowers. Other than that, it's a toss-up. Who's going to step up out of what's on this roster now?
I'll say this about Mendoza. If he had a seasoned college career like Johnny Manziel did at SEC competition, we'd have a different conversation where that's the guy that could take over a game. Absolutely. He hasn't proven to us that he could take over a game. He's not done it. He's set up for success with the run game. And even those games like the Penn State game, he had one great throw down the middle of the field to win the game. But that was more of a great catch more than a throw. And the other games like Iowa, they blew it. He didn't do anything to win that game for them. Illinois, Maryland, he looked horrible. These are just things that when you see defensive-minded teams that disguise defenses as much as these teams did, it's proven that this kid struggles. And then even the championship game, you saw even when Miami didn't pressure him, he bailed out of open pockets. The first reason there, what is he doing? He's trying to run or throw it away. Like he gives up on the play. He did it so many times in that game. And it's just like like I said, we deserve the next savior, and he's not. He's just not.
I said this in the chat earlier with Nate and the guys from the connection. In all honesty, if let's say if Shedeur would have stayed one more year and he came out this year, or vice versa, I would take Shedeur at number 1 overall over this kid. And everybody knows I was not on the Shedeur Sanders train.
Yeah. But I'll even tell you this.
I would take Shedeur over this kid.
Shedeur had better numbers than Mendoza with no line.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the kid was throwing off his back foot and backing up 20 yards, and he was making these incredible throws. Like, I'm just saying, if Shedeur was smart enough and had, if he appealed for another year at Colorado and put up the same kind of numbers and had a line at Colorado, this would be a whole other conversation. Yeah. Ian Book had better numbers than Mendoza. Let's be real here. Like, I'm not a hater of him, but when you see so many holes, and I'm sitting here like ready to like blow a gasket because we're about to pull off a Jamarcus Russell scenario again, because we see the height, we see the arm, we see the results of winning games, but like this was a team, like this season was so magical that it was a team game. It wasn't him taking over and carrying this team to the promised land. He had a defense that was just lights out, which I will tell you this, with the defense, and Miami started to do it towards the second half, what every team should have been doing against Indiana. So Indiana in the Big 12, Big 10, and even in college football, they rotate the least amount of players on defense. They don't have a lot of backups. They don't. And what I would have done is, which Miami did do, up-tempo the entire game and just run no huddle. Change out at some point your athletes and your tendencies, what you want to do. But I'd be going fast the entire time, gashing them, tiring that defense out. And you saw what Miami did. When they did, they moved the ball with ease. They were just too tired. You can't play to Indiana's game. The Indiana game is play hard defense, control the ball, and control the clock. That's what they do. And their special teams plays 100% at all times. Like, that's just their philosophy. And I don't know, guys. Like I said, I think we deserve more than what we get out of Mendoza. Like, that quarterback class is atrocious. And I'm going to say this even now, too. If you really want to go off of tangibles, Ty Simpson and Chambliss, offensive experience, has more experience than Mendoza, because what they're doing in their offenses is going through progressions of first, second, third, fourth, fifth option, and you can see how their offenses are ran. They're not just reading one side of the field; they're reading a whole field, and they have control. And that's what Ole Miss they started to do. They started to let him call the plays. So he was calling from the line and making his own reads and making his own decisions. I'm not saying Chambliss is better than Mendoza by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you're going off of the experience of an offense of a kid who I think is up there already as far as the NFL game, it's more of these guys because of what they've already experienced on their offenses and just what they've done in the SEC. Like I said, you're reading half a field. There's a whole other field in the NFL, boys. Like, this is going to be – he's up for a rude awakening. I'm just telling you. I think he's going to be in some trouble unless he gets the right scenario. And we don't have the talent to surround him.
No.
We don't. So why wouldn't we just go build?
Well, and that's the other thing that kills me, too, is all the like, well, we'll just get this in free agency and we'll get that in the draft. You can't guarantee we're going to get anything in free agency.
No,
right.
We're competing with teams that are built better than us, that have a history of building. Who the hell wants to come here right now? We're so dysfunctional. I know we're
like I told you before, coaches are coming out saying that they don't even know who the leader in the room is. So do you think as an agent, you go to your client, your player, and say, hey, this is dysfunctional. Let me go make some money somewhere else for you. Like this is how the NFL works. They do go for the money. The agent will push against their commission, but when they see they're not a good position for their player, they go somewhere else. And there is clearly a problem with us where there was a lot of opportunities to get free agents over the last few years. And we see the rumor, oh, this is so-and-so's coming in. We might be able to snag them. They go somewhere else because you know why? We are dysfunctional.
Dude, the hate in the chat is real for you.
Brother, it is what it is, and it's just reality. We got to face reality.
Coach is kind of understanding what you're coming from. Raider Rebels understanding what you're saying. Obviously, we kind of are on the same page here too. Again, I'm looking at it from value of the pick. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as Mendoza itself, and that's what people keep mistaken. It's like, oh, you're blind, you don't see. It's not him. It's what that value of that pick means.
It's not like we're picking fifth and we're picking them up. We're picking one. Do you understand what teams want out of number one? What we can get with number one? And then now you got also fans say, oh, well, it's the last time we picked 2 first-round picks. That doesn't mean we're going to do that. Like history repeats itself and we're going to do the same shit. There's a whole other GM in the room. Like I'm giving Spytech some leeway with everything I've been saying, but there's so much value with where we're at right now and the cap space. Why weren't we trying to hear everybody out what they'd want from Mendoza?
Just real quick, Ja Raider, I got to say this about what you just said here. Take a look at that Niners team. That wasn't Jimmy G. That was a massive, awesome defense that the 49ers had. That was a defense for them.
This is a perfect example of perfect situation and scenario. Perfect situation.
Even Sean McVay, that defense was insane too. They had another great defense.
That's the thing we don't.
And where's Goff? He's shipped off to Detroit. So after that Super Bowl, that was it. He was gone after that.
But those are just examples, man. That's an example of perfect scenarios.
Yeah.
Look what Nick Foles did with Philly. He went. Then where did Nick Foles go after? And he was horrible. Do you the game is not just so you can just throw it. That's what I'm trying to explain to people also too. You can't just throw Tom Brady in any. He did it with Tampa Bay, but they had a good team built around the foundation already. They were building that team. You can't throw Tom Brady into Cleveland and expect me to think that Tom Brady is going to go win a Super Bowl in Cleveland. You're farting out of your mouth.
Jason said you lost him on Proctor.
I like Proctor. You don't like? Why wouldn't anyone like Proctor?
I don't know. Duncan says it too. He's a major bust.
I would like to. Can they comment? Ask them. I want to ask these guys. Why do you think he's a bust?
They'll respond in the chat now.
Yeah, he's an athletic 6'7" guard that played in the SEC. I didn't think he was. I'd like to see why. Mesidor. I like Mesidor too in Miami. There's a lot of room to build this pass rush.
I don't like when you talk like this, man. I really don't. You got to have faith, man. We just have to give him a hell of a front line. I get that. I get what you're saying, John. But again, I'm looking at the overall roster. I'm not just looking at one position. I'm looking at everything we need. We need so much. We need offensive linemen. We need another running back, whether it's in free agency or draft. We need somebody else because our running back room's getting depleted now. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't have much of a backup. Mosert's gone. Samir White's gone now. So that leaves us Lobby and Collier now as the only two that are behind Genty. And I don't trust either one of them right now. I haven't seen enough from either one of them. As everybody called Lobby was supposed to be, McCaffrey, 2.0. Nobody saw that so far.
I didn't see that.
We need linebackers. We're going to need corners. We need defensive end. We need we need wide receivers. We need so much.
That's what I'm thinking is like
our offense is fine. Because I've had people tell me this, and not necessarily on shows, but in messages on Facebook or whatever that our receivers are good. What receivers are you looking at? We got one guy that can barely catch the ball. You know, you got one guy that didn't get enough time, but when he was out there, he looked halfway decent. And that's Betch. Thornton can't catch it. Tucker's a flash in the pan. The only legit threat to catch the ball out there is Brock Bowers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they actually used Michael Mayer too, he would have been. I don't think his confidence is there at all. Michael Mayer.
Think we just haven't seen Michael Mayer. We just haven't seen what his full capability is.
Yeah.
And his issue last year and everything. And I don't necessarily blame him. He just hasn't had enough time on the field to really show what he can and can't do.
I mean, if you're an Irish fan and seeing him play, the kid was incredible.
Yeah.
But I want to hear why he's overrated, boys. Let me know why you guys think he's overrated.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that. I'm so far behind on the chat.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
Pick it up, Jeff.
Well,
that's what these fans need to understand. I'm looking at the whole roster. We are so screwed. It's not funny. You think when you throw in Mendoza into this and get a couple of pieces, we're going to be good? You're crazy.
So
we got a long way to go.
Rebel says, my question is, with all the things you are saying about Mendoza, you don't think there's other teams that feel the same way who's willing to trade up for him?
No, I do.
I think the Jets take him right away at number 2, unless we trade with him.
No, I think they do. I think that's 1,000%, and I would rather than whatever you want for that first pick. Give us your pick. Give us another pick in the future. Give us another first rounder next year. Give us a second rounder next year. And maybe a third or fourth this year, something. Like, we have so much value in this pick. I don't know why everyone is stuck on this kid that hasn't put up crazy numbers in college. He didn't do anything crazy.
No,
I saw so many quarterbacks, like, listen, you could rip on me all you want right now. If you put a highlight tape together of Diego Pavia and Mendoza, you'll see more highlights of Diego Pavia.
Yep.
That's just a proven fact. But that doesn't mean I think Pavia is a better quarterback than Mendoza by any means. That does not what I'm saying. I'm just saying is there's no flash to this kid. What am I missing? Someone explain to me what I'm missing.
So Money Chuck says Mendoza is widely considered the number 1 pick by consensus, Jeff. You keep saying otherwise, and it's simply not true. He's the number 1 option because we're picking number 1. I'm telling you, you move us and the Jets out of 1 and 2, and you put a different team up there that doesn't need a quarterback, like say the Giants. He ain't number 1.
Yes, exactly.
Number 1 overall. I don't know what draft tracker you're looking at or whatever, but he's not number 1.
He's not the best overall person in the draft. He's not.
No, and I didn't say. Did I say Tucker sucks? Because someone's putting words in my mouth. I didn't say he sucks. I said he's hit or miss. I said he's nothing special. So I didn't say he sucks. You can't rely on him as your top receiver. You think we can go into the season as him as our number 1? Oh, hell no.
No, dude. He's just a deep ball threat. Get the ball in space and let him work a little bit, but he's not a guy to take over a game. We don't even had that.
And technically, we really weren't even ready for Genty last year. It's a miracle he was.
We weren't ready for Genty either last year. No, we weren't. But, I mean, I'm glad we got him.
I got clapped back on that one, just like I'm getting clapped back on this, too. You know, I mean, all anybody needs to do is look at how everything went last year. We took the guy that we thought was going to be the savior on offense for us last year. Okay, we bring Geno Smith in. All right, he's going to be good. We put Genty back there. And what happened? We didn't have an O-line, didn't protect either one of them. Genty was lucky to get the stats he got. We're going to be in the same boat this year if the offensive line is not addressed. And again, there's no sure thing that we're going to be able to address this offensive line. You know, yeah, I think that we've got the pieces on the O-line that can help, but we need some help. We need some other pieces. We have, again, no depth. A depth was forced into starting with this team because of injuries and jumbling around shit. You know? I haven't seen that.
The O-line and D-line actually. But you know what's funny is every comment that you've been reading is everyone saying to build the O-line. So why?
Well, coach is all for not taking.
Oh, no. I'm agreeing with him too. No. I'm agreeing. I'm just saying as far as like everyone else, though, it just keeps saying the common denominator, O-line. But we also need a D-line too. So I'm just saying is like, if this kid was just like, let's say Mendoza like just ran crazy, took over games, threw for 300 every game, like just did some Tim Tebow shit and put up numbers and took over games the way he did. then there'd be a conversation like, you know what, we can't pass up on this guy. Like, we got to build around him. There's so many question marks, and those seasons. He only had one good season at Indy. One. If he did 2 seasons of this, different conversation. One season is not enough for me. In a schedule that he didn't play shit. He didn't. He did show out making those deep ball throws off the RPO, off the post corners, and the deep ball from 9 routes. But his defense caused the turnovers. The running backs averaged 7, 8, 9, 6 yards a carry. Like, that wasn't a Mendoza takeover. So just because he went 14 of 17 and threw 5 touchdowns, that don't mean shit. If you look at the throws that were made, they're beautiful balls, but those are off of success of the run game and the receivers beating the corner down the middle of the field and blowing past everybody. How can you miss that throw? Any real quarterback can make that throw. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not putting the ball on a dig route 30 yards between the corner and safety and then a dog backer flying back in between the zone. Like, he's not making these insane throws. Like, there's just guys that have been doing it that aren't built like Mendoza and don't have the credentials as far as an undefeated season and, the Heisman, even though I'll say it now to everyone out there, he didn't deserve the Heisman. Like, he did not deserve it. He didn't do enough for me to. If anyone can sit here and explain who was a better Heisman than Mendoza, please tell me. Because if you were to put the last 20 Heismans up right now, he ain't beating any of those guys out who won the Heisman. No shot.
Nope.
I think what's his name from Notre Dame, the running back, should have got it. To be honest
Jeremiah Love. I'm a biased Notre Dame fan. Guy was insane. And I'll say this, even if Diego Pavi went into Texas and beat Texas and came back in that game and beat Texas and even beat Bama, if he went undefeated or even, didn't perform bad against Bama where he lost the game for Vandy, let's just be real here, that'd be a conversation too. Like, it was almost like a process of elimination. Let's pick Mendoza. He's undefeated. His team, he also had frosted tips at Cal. Come on, boys. We deserve better than that.
I saw that.
We need a dog at quarterback that can talk shit and back it up. And this kid looked like he's one of those, like, Crosby's in the room, popping up to getting the team ready on a pep talk. And he's like, yeah, what he said. Like, that's kind of like, what? What? Like, shut up. Like, that. I just don't think any of our guys would take him seriously enough. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think going off of what we need desperately, we need to consider trading back and getting everything else that we need in the draft because we got the cap. We just, if we only needed a few pieces, I'd say take a shot at the kid, I guess. But we have too many holes in this team that we need to fill.
So this was Jason's. These are some of Jason's. When you asked him what he's saying the difference is leadership, character, intelligence.
What intelligence? He's right. He's rating half a field. What do you mean intelligence? I'm not being rude. I'm just being honest. Where's the intelligence?
I don't know. No, Lewis agrees with you. He's saying you're speaking the truth now. They're saying the college is different from pro. What?
He was not playing a pro style in college.
Who, me?
No. Mendoza.
No, he ran an RPO game. It was a vanilla RPO game. It's simple. I guarantee I can probably get around how many plays they really have. It's probably around 40. Maybe less. These people don't understand is an RPO's off. It's a different game. Why? I'm trying to compare him to a quarterback that came from an RPO system that went to the NFL and that really struggled.
Yeah, we'll build the best team in the world without drafting. Because the other thing to remember too, Geno Smith's still under contract for another year, folks.
Boys, I don't want Geno Smith, but it is what it is. If we got to stick with him,
you got to look at what it's going to cost us if we decide to cut him. We're going to take a hit. And that's what other. So that $100 million ain't going to be $100 million anymore. We're going to take a hit. We can't.
And the free agency list of quarterbacks is pretty bad this year too.
For another year, regardless whether Mendoza's here or not, because There's no way Mendoza's starting day one. I'm sorry. You want to
Dude,
put
I'm
him
being
on?
honest. What about you think about Malik Willis? What do you think about him?
At this point, anything's better than Geno. If we're taking somebody from another team, anything's better than Geno. I don't
Dude,
know.
I'm telling you, I talked to Daryl Worley a few months back, and this is this is before Willis got the start at the end of the season. And he even said to me, he said, mark my words, Willis will take over a franchise at some point or another in the near future. The kid can sling the ball, and he's a freaking dog. I mean, what I saw in that last game,
It's up 805.
he was awesome. He was awesome in that last game, and I almost looked like Vegas and the books had that covered where he magically got hurt and they threw the backup in. The first play of scrimmage, he threw a pick. Willis was I don't know, what game was that? Is it in Lambeau?
Oh, I don't even know off the top of my head.
I don't know. He threw for like 300 plus yards. He almost ran 100. He was having a lights out game where he just took over the game.
He did have a good game.
And
See,
he hurt his ankle.
Big luck. That's the same thing, though. Just because you trade back, whoever you pick, don't make them a guarantee. Neither does taking Mendoza number one doesn't make it a guarantee that he's going to be good. That's the same thing. You're saying the exact same thing. But the difference is the guy you're going to trade back and get is a plug-and-play player, a guy that can step in and play immediately and have an impact, whereas Mendoza's not going to have an immediate impact. You know what he's going to have an immediate impact? Jersey sales.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to have an immediate impact. Jersey sales, merchandise, his likeness, autographs, all that shit. All the shit that doesn't even fucking matter. Who cares about jersey sales? I want to see what he does in the field. That's the difference.
He's not going to start. That's what the thing is. I think fans need to understand. Like, he's not going to get thrown into the wolves right from week one. He's not going to start.
Absolutely, May was a plug and play. Absolutely.
Wait, what?
He says, was May a plug and play, Jeff?
Who was?
Drake May.
You're saying
did anyone see what he did at North Carolina? He was a game changer.
Exactly. That's exactly my
dog.
point.
Like, this kid was running all over the field, throwing for 400 yards, slinging the ball over the field, had an offense under Mac Brown where he was literally reading 5 different options.
Money Chuck,
the kid was ready, and I wanted Drake May. I did.
You say of concern anymore.
Wait, I never compared Mendoza to Russell Wilson. That's not even a comparison.
That's what I mean. He hears what he wants to hear. So
that's not even comparison. I didn't even compare Russell Wilson at all.
Yeah. See, Rebel, I agree with Rebel.
I'm so confused by that. My Russell Wilson didn't even come out of my mouth.
It's a scenario. It doesn't mean he's comparing him to it.
Yeah. They're not the same quarterback. Russell was 6'9", 300 pounds, threw the ball on one knee, 90 yards down the field. Mendoza doesn't do that. Not the same quarterback either. He didn't run an RPO offense. I'm just saying scenario where we're at. We have so many holes in this team.
He started the whole year last year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who are we talking about?
He's comparing Russell. Oh, Drake May.
I'm on a different one. My bad.
Yeah, I'm still. See, look at now. Lewis is saying Proctor's a good pick in my opinion, but you have others there saying he's a bum. You're saying that he's not as bad as everybody says. Lewis
big nasty offensive line. That's what we need. He's 6'7" left guard. Move him to left guard or right, depending on who we pick up in free agency. And then we pick up Soliano. I love him. Love him if we can pick him up.
So now, see, this is the difference. If I thought Proctor was a really good quarterback, I could turn around and just lambaste and say all the shit that everybody's saying when we question Mendoza's ability, or someone else questions Mendoza's ability. But I'm not sitting here and saying anything. I'm not lashing back out over this. It's like, This is my opinion. That's your opinion. Sal's got his. Nate's got his. And it just drives me nuts how everybody.
But Jeff, I'd like someone that can go in the comments, one of these guys, and give me a real reason why Mendoza is the savior for our franchise. I want to hear a real answer. If somebody can give me a real answer, tell me, persuade me to tell me that he's the guy. If you just say he won a Natty and a Heisman, sorry, that's not enough for me. I mean,
Well, some
AJ
will
Mc.
say that. The ones that don't really watch or understand will say that. Like I know Jason and Duncan, they'll be able to put something together as to why. I trust what they would say, basically.
Yeah.
But you will have, and I'm not saying people that are in the chat now. I've seen other people in other chats say, "Well, he won the Heisman, he won the national championship." That's not good enough reason, and I get that.
Well,
The
what I
gaming
don't
guys.
understand is why do we have to settle for a quarterback? Like, we should just pick a quarterback because we're quarterback needy. Like, that is the part that doesn't make sense to me. Like, so just because we need a quarterback, like, why can't we wait out and get, the super uber talented guys that, are game changers, franchise changing players?
Yeah.
Just because we have a hole at quarterback and there's only one quarterback that's obvious that it has a first round grade, but he's nowhere near the talent that other quarterbacks coming out. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And people are saying, no, he's not a savior, but so then why the fuck would we want him then? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Nate, I'll say this to you. I think you can agree with me. If this was not Mendoza, but Joe Burrow after that LSU season, there's no question about it. I would draft Joe
Absolutely
Burrow.
zero question.
Because that man took over a game through 50 touchdown passes and threw the ball over the field, like in the SEC. Do not people see the comparison? Is that if you're going to tell me, okay, would you draft Mendoza or in the number one pick, or would you draft Joe Burrow after that LSU season? If people say Mendoza, in all due respect, you don't know ball as much as you think you do. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just being flat out honest, man. Like you got to be crazy to sit here and tell me if you pick Mendoza over Joe Burrow after that LSU season he had. That's a game changer and a guy that could take over any game. Then you draft a guy like that. That's when you draft him. But you don't draft a guy that's been managing the game all season, and even at Cal didn't take over games. Like that's what I doesn't you guys like as you fans that are in the chat, like don't you guys want a guy that's just like a Kobe mentality, a Mamba mentality? Like I'm the guy, I'm gonna take over a game, put it on my back, I'm gonna take over. Mendoza hasn't
Right.
shown that once. And even in the national title game, the last drive of the game, everyone wants to make a shining moment of that run. You're talking about one freaking run that their linebacker was also being partially blocked, that he broke that tackle and then it was a gritty play.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. It was a great play. But that's one play out of a whole season where this guy didn't take over. Like that's what, and then his numbers were off but shit teams. Like guys, I'm just saying I think we can all can agree, not just us three, but as fans, we want to win. We want change. We want the Raider way back, and we deserve someone that is a Joe Burrow LSU quarterback last season guy, and we don't have that in this draft. So why are we just settling for this when we have assets to trade back, get a draft pick next year with a team who's probably going to shit the bed like the Jets or someone else in the top 10? That there's so many quarterbacks next year that we could snag one of these guys. Like, I don't understand why you just settle with Mendoza. I just don't understand. And if somebody can really just explain to me, I'm very open-minded, very open-minded. But if somebody can sit here and explain to me how this guy's our savior, then tell me. But if he's not our savior, then why waste our number one pick on him?
Exactly what I've been saying.
I just realized who a certain person is in the chat by all it because he keeps posting Tucker.
Yeah.
It's Eric Bell. Love me, Tucker, leading receiver. Yeah, he's just.
Boy, is this a joke or is he serious?
With Trey Tucker, I don't get it, but whatever.
He's like 5'8". He's not Tyreek Hill.
No.
Has sloppy footwork, plays tall. Oh shit!
Go back.
Yeah, I missed it.
Gets beat by both speed and push rushers. I really, I don't get that impression. Is this from the combine that they just had in the Senior Bowl, or is this in just SEC play? Because if this is SEC play, that's obviously concerning. But I didn't get that from Proctor. But I'll tell you what, though, Malachi Fields is showing out. I don't know if you guys catched any of the Senior Bowl 7-on-7s and the 1-on-1s.
I've been watching some of the clips that get put in. I have
Dude,
been watching it like on TV, like religiously. It's just too much shit going on.
he's the sleeper of the draft on the offensive side of the ball. I'm telling you. He was great at Notre Dame, but he was even better at Virginia. And he's showing out in this Senior Bowl 7-on-7 and ones. He's beating everyone off the ball, and he's catching balls over everyone's head. Like, the kid's incredible. Long way to go. Patriots got Drake May and Learlon got what? That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
It's Fernando Mendoza, Drake May.
Nor
Well,
wide receiver. Wait, last year not a great old line, nor wide receiver. Wait, what? Huh?
Yeah, they
They're
built what they did. They got the quarterback first, and that's the other thing. He says, well, other teams have gotten the running back before, or the quarterback first, and then they built around him. Yeah, and Drake May got his ass whooped his rookie year, but he still had
he did.
Pieces.
He did.
But then you look at what they did this year. You know, from living in the area up here, you know,
Mendoza May is crazy. Mendoza is better.
Oh,
than
dear
May.
God, my blood pressure's going up.
That's funny.
I'm still waiting for someone to explain to me how he's the savior.
if they've said it, I've missed it. Again, I'm still.
You didn't miss it, buddy. I promise you, bro. You didn't miss it because it's not been said.
I'm like 15, almost 20 minutes behind in the chat. That's how fast this chat is going tonight.
Yeah.
I'm probably getting ripped right now with all the takes I'm making. Bottom line is, fellas, it's just I can't trust Brady right now. The facts are there. He's not in the building. He's made a
But
lot
Brady-
of questionable.
Brady
Yeah.
is supposed to be mentoring Mendoza the entire season while he's going to call games all year.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not gonna-
Exactly. He's not.
You know,
Oh, I can't take this, man. I can't.
Mendoza went 5 games with no incompletions.
because he's reading. Do you know what an RPO? Yeah, I think you might have to explain what
RPO
what
means
during an
run pass.
again.
Oh boy.
I don't.
Guys, if you need to know what an RPO is, you can even just play college football or Madden. It'll literally tell you on the screen. You're reading half a field. That's just, you got to understand he's not in a dynamic offense. He was in a very vanilla where even you could throw. I'm trying to think.
All right, let me address this question. Or this.
Go ahead.
I guess fans just don't understand sometimes. We are in a unique situation that very few teams, we being one of them, and have never been in this position before, where we have the overall number 1 pick in the draft. We also have no head coach right now. We have no offensive coordinator. We have no defensive coordinator. We don't really have a quarterback. We don't have it. We have so much that we need to do to start to rebuild this organization. Everybody wants to get back to the Raider way and doing things and building a team. Again, we are in such a unique situation that this one pick could be huge for us and set us up for the future in so many different ways it isn't even funny. This is a franchise breaker right here, or savior, this number 1 pick, if it's done right. I'm sorry. That's why I think the value in this is trading back and getting more picks, bringing more ready-to-play players, whether it's an offensive lineman, defensive end, cornerback, wide receiver, whatever. And I know someone will say, well, why would we get a wide receiver if we don't have a quarterback?
Well, that's how bad we're in a situation
Still
we're in.
got quarterbacks on this roster, and that's what we're going to have to stick with, and that's what we're going to have to deal with. And people are going to have to, just like I'm going to have to deal with if we end up drafting Mendoza. I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And if he's good, that's great. I don't want him to be a bust. I want him to succeed, because if he succeeds, the team succeeds. We all are happy. All right. And if I'm wrong, just like these 2 gentlemen up here have said, I'll be one of the first ones to say, I'll do a live show. I'll come on and say, listen, I'm sorry. I was wrong. We did exactly what we should have done, I guess. And it worked out for the best. I'm not going to sit here and go, well, see, I don't, I'm not going to critique every little thing he does that's wrong.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't like the move. Like, oh, he steps wrong with that foot. Why did he do that? I'm not going to do that shit. I want him to succeed. I want the team to succeed.
Jeff, Nate, I got a question for you guys, actually. So if we decide to get Kubiak and it does go in our favor, would you be opposed to having DC back as a bridge quarterback if we decide to get Mendoza, which pray to God we don't? If we do, get DC on a 1 to 2 year bridge quarterback to teach the
Oh.
kid Raider what? I'm just asking. I mean,
I know, I get it.
What do you think?
No, honestly, I think he's done with playing football, just himself. I
Yeah.
think that if we do end up getting Kubiak and we end up getting the offensive line and everything works out, we do everything correctly, Mendoza's sitting, I think Geno Smith can honestly do what is asked for him. I don't think he's going to do it well, but I think he could do just enough to be able to be that bridge type quarterback. If we're not going to be able to find, a trade partner to get him out of the building, and we don't want to cut for 18 mil, keep that on the books, and we just end up keeping him to, be that bridge quarterback, which is kind of what he's already been taught to do or, brought in to do. I think he can do enough to where we can possibly develop Mendoza, hopefully for a year and a half, and, potentially put him in the best situation for Mendoza to be the best possible player he can be. Obviously, not a lot of people are going to like that take because that means we have to do Geno Smith a fucking year again. But I don't see the DC thing happening. I think he put all his paperwork in for the retirement and stuff like that. So,
he did. I wasn't up to date with that.
I'm pretty sure he did, but even if he didn't, we still have to trade for his rights from the Saints. And I just don't think that there's a way we can do that and, have the contract situation where they eat the majority of his contract. And there's just too many moving parts, in my opinion, for DC.
Just a take. Figure to see your guys' opinion on that one.
Yeah.
I got a feeling Kubiak's not taking this job, boys.
I really hope that's not the case because to me, in my mind, I think we already are set once we learned we got the number 1 pick and we're getting Fernando Mendoza. And I think that's why we're pushing all of our chips in with Clint Kubiak because in all honesty, him or Mike McDaniel, like those are the two people that I think could really unlock what Mendoza is doing at Indiana and kind of replicate it here in the NFL because Kubiak is a great offensive play caller. And I think that if we pair him with Mendoza, we're really getting the coach for the quarterback that we have a set in our mind already. Right. So, yeah.
I think that's the only way I'll be okay if we draft Mendoza is if we get Kubiak in the building, and then, it's not what we all three agree that we should do as far as drafting him, but if you're going to give Mendoza somebody, it's got to be Kubiak. I think that's just with an offensive mind with the success he's had with a lot of other quarterbacks. I think that's the only option we can go with. But if we don't get him and it's a defensive-minded guy or something, and we draft Mendoza, I think we're in so much trouble. There's just too many value in this pick. There's too much value. We have so many. If it was just like 3 holes that we got to fill, and even depth-wise in the positions, fine. Even though I don't agree with getting Mendoza, it is what it is. But when do you still have your national? I didn't play for a national title. I wish.
Eric didn't either. But you know what? In all honesty, Tyler, listen, he's a guest. When we have a guest on, you kind of let the guest talk and get his point across. That's the whole reason of having a guest. What good is it if we have him on and he just sits there and Nate and I talk all night?
Right.
If you guys want to talk more, go for it. I'm
good. Yeah.
You did exactly what you asked me in the chat the other night. And then we talked on Instagram and you gave me a number and we talked back and forth in text. And you did exactly what you said you wanted to do. And you came in here and you laid it out. You put your thought out there or your words as to what you thought, why we shouldn't be getting them. So I thank you for coming on and doing this because,
I appreciate it, guys, for real. I mean, like I said, a lot of guys,
when
they charge money.
Well, when there's so many fans that are going so far that direction on Mendoza versus the ones that don't want Mendoza, whether it be because of his playing or, in my case, more so for the future of the team and what we can do with those picks. That's where it's tough because, you've seen the chat. The chat has been absolutely blowing up over the talk of Mendoza and the way that we've been talking about. And I knew this was going to happen tonight because I said it. I said it to Nate.
I love it.
Yeah.
Chat's going to go fucking ballistic as soon as he starts talking about this stuff. And they didn't disappoint. I will say that.
I'm glad I can bring some more attraction for you guys. But it's just like I brought another aspect of X's and O's to people to look at what this kid has been doing in college. It's not just a biased opinion. It's factual things that I see on the screen, on the field, as a quarterback, as someone that's been involved in an offense with RPO and a pro style offense.
Mhm.
It's clear as day. Like if you and I you're starting to even see the younger generation of quarterbacks, of kids starting to learn this now too, where coaches aren't teaching them the half field concept and they're teaching them the whole field concept. And this Mendoza was just in a perfect scenario and set up for success. Point blank. And if anyone can then dispute that, he had a great defense. Offensive line won MVP. They're nasty. 5.7 yards a carry at running back. Their special
Insane.
teams was top 10 in the country. Like how else of a scenario could you not be in? Like that's perfect than that. That's what I'm saying. And it's just again, he's a good quarterback. I'm not disputing he's a bad quarterback. I'm
No
not.
one is saying he's a bad quarterback.
No, he's
Right.
he's got tools. The kid can sling the ball. Let's just be real here. But there's a lot of things that we have question marks of where we
That's the thing.
yeah.
People that are so on Mendoza's nuts, just they hear what they want to hear. So.
And they see he's
Real
Cuban
quick.
and like, oh, we need a Cuban guy at the quarterback position.
I
Like,
hate that. I hate that
it's a
argument.
stupid ass fucking reason. It's a stupid ass reason.
Just a quick shout out to Slam and Sammy with the $2 super chat. Mendoza is fine, but still need a wide receiver linebacker in
Absolutely.
Slot corner.
slot. You know what? I agree because we need a lot. We need so much, man. This team has just not been built right the last few years.
I think that's what fans are just missing, how much needs we have, and they expect this kid to walk in there, get the cheering ovation in the preseason, walk in on the first drive of week 1 and be the savior, and that's not the case.
Shout out to Fred with some membership of 4 months here. Raiders, what's up, family? Nate, chat, what's going on, my guy?
What up, Predator?
So I'm just skipping to the end of the chat because I'm still like 15 minutes behind. So
You're
I'm
way
right
too
to
far.
the very end.
He's not very tech savvy, guys.
Yeah.
All right, stop chatting so fast.
I just think I really got in people under their skin with my takes.
I don't want to hear. There's so much going on tonight. I've never had a chat this busy in a long time. It's been a while.
You're welcome.
Just a real public service announcement here. Make sure you guys get over to LV Raider 10. Get over to his channel. Hit that sub. Hit the notifications. It's LV Raider 10. If one of the mods in here on my channel can post the links up, I'd appreciate that.
I'll post the link up for you right now too.
So make sure you get over there, hit the sub on his. We got to get his numbers up and going. And if you want to pop over there and watch the rest of the show from there, I'm more than happy to. Martina says, surprised you're still able to sit down. They've been ripping on me in the chat.
I love it though. I don't take this shit personally. I think it's awesome. Like
I laugh at half of it sometimes.
it's funny,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it gets people more in dialogue to talk, and I'm open for open dialogue. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like I'm not going to always agree with what people like the common narrative that everyone wants to buy in on this kid and our situation. I'm against it. I think that I'm not going to say it for the 100th time, but I'll say it again. We have too many holes and needs. Let's take advantage of this number 1 pick and move back and get a nasty defensive lineman to help Crosby out. Build a nasty, intimidating defensive line. Build that O-line, and we keep just building from the inside out. That's my personal opinion. please tell me if you're building a team, what position would you start with?
Center.
You start with the left tackle. That's why.
Yeah, sorry, left tackle too.
I mean,
Either way, it's an offensive lineman.
yeah, left tackle, center. I mean, you got to go with your the trenches first. The grit starts from the line. So
1,000%.
Thanks, Marcus Banks. Now, this gentleman here is actually a Titans fan, but he's been in that since I started 2 years ago, and always there. He's been one of my moderators. Dude.
Log snapper, he said. I'm dead.
Snapper.
Shout out Marcus Banks. He is always in our chats. He's a Titans fan, like you said. I didn't even know that for the longest time, but he's always supporting, bro. Shout out Marcus.
Yeah, start with the trench, both sides. 100%.
Arnie, he answered that earlier. You weren't in yet.
When did you start being an Oakland Raiders fan? Like I said, this was back. I was born '92. I think I started watching the Raiders at I don't know, when you actually absorb everything. When Jeff George was our quarterback. Before that, even before Jeff George, Jeff Hostetler. I mean, that's just all I can only think of. I mean, my father back in the day, my father, he's always a Raiders fan. It was in the 80s, Vikings, Raiders, Niners, Giants, and he chose the Raiders. Was on cable television and just was molded into our family. Have the shield tatted on my leg. I'm not no new generational Las Vegas Raiders fan by any means.
Yeah, see, so Coach says, so my initial thoughts on Mendoza before his playoff run was hell no. The reason was because most of his highlights showed him never creating plays when there was pressure. He did show a little ability to create plays, but he's no Mahomes.
Agreed.
Absolutely, Coach.
And that's what people are comparing him to.
How?
I don't know.
Where's the comparison?
That's it.
Mahomes had no line at Texas Tech, and he was running back 20 yards and throwing the ball 50, 60 yards down the field. So where's the comparison?
That's even if he leaves the Ravens. They're not going to let him leave.
Nah.
Well, they got cap issues, but again, he's already put it out there that he wants to follow Harbaugh. So not only do we have to compete with the Ravens possibly trying to keep him, but now we got to compete with if the Giants are going to go for him. So there's no shoeing that we're going to be able to throw enough money on that's going to. In all honesty, why would he want to come here? That's the biggest problem we're going to have, and I've said this I don't know how many times already. I thought when we got Pete Carroll here, it was going to help us bring in players because of Pete's respect for him. Now you bring in a rookie, first-time head coach. Yes, they see what he did in Seattle. Yes, he'll probably, again, which means there's a good chance we're going to have some Seattle players follow him down here. Yeah. So we're going to just add more Seattle players to this roster that we didn't have before, on top of the ones that we already have, whether they stay or not. So you're going to have players that will follow him.
I like some Seattle free agents right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to some of them.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant is one of them, isn't it?
Exactly what I was going to say.
What other players are going to want to come here with a first-time head coach, in a team that needs so much? Do they want to be part of that experience of rebuilding this team? Some may take that chance. Some may say, hell no, reach out to me when the team's going in the right direction.
I just think whoever's in the head of the ship.
If they're willing to, if they're willing to stick it out and try it, and part of being something that gets turned around, then they're going to look like part of the heroes. That they finally brought Raider Nation back to what we expect it to be.
I will say, I heard those rumors that were coming out with Lamar Jackson. That's what I would have wanted for us to happen. Is for us to trade for Lamar Jackson if that was a possibility.
So that Goff is the other one we've heard, right, Nate?
I compared him to Goff, and I think Goff is honestly better prospect coming up.
I've never seen him.
Yeah, nobody. I didn't compare him to Mahomes. I didn't do that.
No. Mendoza isn't Mahomes, Burrow, Brady, but neither is any of the other quarterbacks. But you got to see the common denominator with these guys, though. They all didn't win in college. John Elway didn't win in college either. There's a lot of guys that didn't win. I
Well,
mean, like I
Burrow did.
said, oh, Burrow did. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Burrow did.
Well, that 1-2 years that 1 year he had, but we just can't compare off just him winning the Heisman and a Natty and those wins at Indiana. It's a historical, amazing season. I give them all the credit in the world, but we're the bottom of the barrel. We're in Cleveland Browns territory right now.
Yeah, that's right. They denied it. They didn't take his fifth. Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's staying in Baltimore specifically. I'm saying that don't make it such a done deal that we're gonna sign Tyler Linderbaum. I'm not saying don't go out and try. Obviously, yes, let's fucking do that. But don't make it so set in stone. Put it in the back of your mind. All right, we got Linderbaum, we got so and so, so and so, and so and so. Because that's, as we've seen in free agency, it's not so cut and dry for the Raiders.
Yeah. To build the whole line races, nobody will come. That's not what we're saying.
All along, Duncan. I've been saying that all along. That both guys want to get here. I never said only through the free agency. I said we got to hope we can get players through free agency that want to come here. That's the whole point. Well, that's the whole sticky situation here is getting guys that want to come here on their own free will and say, yes, I'll come here for that money. But knowing in mind that the team sucks. The team's not in a good spot. We don't even have a head coach.
Jeff, Nate, I got to dip out in a minute, but I'll leave this with you guys. Like just to add on what you're saying, like like you're getting coaches that are, I don't know how many guys have been added on to since what we talked about at first, but like you're getting coaches that interviewed for this job that are now coming out saying we don't even know who the leader in the building is. So you're relying on a guy who has a fantastic NFL career in Brady that has no NFL GM experience or ownership. He's halfway into the organization doing all these things, being a philanthropist and doing all this shit. How can you trust this scenario? Like we don't have a coach. It's not just the roster. We have no coaches. We got no leader in this building. What are we doing? We are in so much trouble. It's not even funny. And the only way I think this will all work out is if we get Kubiak and he gets the ground running. But that if this doesn't happen and we don't get Kubiak, we're in trouble. We're in some serious shit. And it's like Jeff just said. It's a matter if these guys want to actually come over and like it just depends on who's taking over the reins of this organization. And if it's not Kubiak and it's some other random OC or DC that has no other doesn't have experience, why would a free agent want to come to our organization? Why would they want to? They're not. At one point, one or another in the early 2000s, even the 90s and 80s, players have always said. Even Deion Sanders said it. I always wanted to be a Raider. I always wanted to put the silver and black on and wear the shield. It was a way of living. It was a way of. It was life. And as Raider fans that have been fans longer than I've been alive, you can agree to this that this job is not like any other job in the NFL, like the Giants or it's just not the same. This is a job where we are the most passionate fans in the world. I think I've gone from experience of going to the Coliseum.
The chat definitely shows that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I advocate to that and them speaking their mind. I'm not even butthurt about their opinions at all. Yeah. I think that's great. Where this is awesome. Like we need to be in dialogue, but we all need to come to an understanding. We have no leader in the building, none. We don't know what we're gonna do with the draft. Still, there's no talks of any. This is just random people talking that we're getting Mendoza regardless. There's no real source telling us anything, and. We just it's at a point now where Kubiak's our last hope, and we don't know what we're gonna do. And I think as all fans, we need to be all a little concerned that this guy Brady, who ruined our franchise with the Tuck rule, is taking over this franchise, who's still making money off road teams coming in and selling out our stadium. It's just we have a problem. And I think we all need to come to awareness that Mendoza is not our savior. That's going to just change everything. But again, I'll leave you with this. If we do draft him, I hope to God he succeeds.
I do too.
But
Agreed.
if I'm wrong, everyone that is bashing me out there, I will be the first one, or you guys, we will all come to agreement and say, yo, we were dead fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me off my opinion what I've seen. So, fellas, I appreciate you guys bringing me on. This was awesome. You know, like I said, a lot of other channels try to make me pay hundreds of dollars just to speak what I'm speaking now. This was awesome. Great experience. If we guys can talk another time, it'd be awesome. Jeff, I'll keep in touch with you. Nate, it was great talking to you too, man.
Likewise, bro.
Even the people that are bashing me, thanks for tuning in. I love it. I'm not trolling either. This is just me talking. And I'm a fan just as deep as hard as you guys are.
Their opinion on what they see, where the direction of this team's going. Some will say we're doing the greatest job in the world, you know, and some will say we're not doing enough, you know. So there's always two sides to everything, obviously, as you can tell by the chat. There's the entire chat, and then there's the three of us, minus a couple in the chat that have kind of been on the same wavelength as us.
Yeah. I'm not trolling. This is just straight factual things and my knowledge of the game.
I mean, I've seen you in the other chats too, so in the past. So I you know, when you hit me up and you said, yeah, you know, I want to try, I'm like, dude, come on. Get you on here. So
hope I gave everyone a peace of mind just to think maybe we can do a lot more with this pick.
We'll see. Time will tell.
All right, fellas. We'll talk to you soon. God bless everyone else that was watching.
Brother.
Thanks for watching, man.
Later, man.
All right. Take care.
Later. That was interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, like we said earlier, I think we can all agree that despite what our position is on the Fernando Mendoza and the first overall pick and what we should do, this just shows how passionate we are for a winning franchise, for a winning team. Again, like you see the chat absolutely going crazy because, you know, you're wrong. No, but it's all in good nature of the fact that we just want to see the Raiders win. Like, no matter what any of us think, we can all agree and we can all come to terms that we all want to see a winning product for the Raiders because we want to support a winning franchise. And we just have not had that in over 20 years. And we're fed up, and it's come to a kind of a breaking point almost in the community to where everyone is so needy for a winning franchise. It's like we almost come to blows in chats. That's what it's like. It feels like it comes to sometimes. But man, I just love, you know, the Raider community, that we can all be so passionate and express our opinions, whether or not we all agree or not. But man, it just really shows how much we are in need of a winning franchise.
Who's Dub arguing with? Is he still going on the thing about Mahomes? Because that wasn't us that said that. That was something.
No. He was saying the report about people saying that coming out of the interviews, they don't know who is the leader of the whole organization and things like that.
I mean, I have heard it too, but I don't put no stock in anything like that sometimes.
It's hard to know when you're not in the rooms, and it's hard to know just hearing things like that. You can take it with a grain of salt.
What's up, Army? Hey, fellas, nothing against you. As a Vikings fan, cheers. Good luck in the draft. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. How do they not know who's in charge? Mark said Spytech will lead all football operations, not Tom Brady. I don't know why the media or these other beat writers have to say that. Yeah, I agree, too. I mean, because they did come out and say who was doing what. Are we more passionate than Angel fans?
No. Some of you couldn't handle being Angel fans.
Yeah, Nate and the other two Angel fans are like Chargers fans. They're very far and few between.
A lot of people could not handle being Angel fans. I'll tell you that right now.
He says, no one in their right mind is going to pass at millions of dollars to join any team. Not necessarily, man. There's players that will not want to go to certain teams. And, like, why would you want to go to Cleveland? Like, you know.
Right.
Just for the money? No, I want this. I want the championship. I want a ring. I want to go to a team that's going to give me the best option to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, How do you think these rookies that are on the Patriots right now feel? They're in seventh heaven right now. Their first season,
1,000%.
Super Bowl. It's like, come on. And they had a big part in it. You're talking about Trevion Henderson, the running back. You're talking about the 2 offensive linemen, Campbell and the other kid, the 2 rookie linemen, the left tackle and left guard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Jesus Christ, these kids are insane. Do we even want to bother doing the game tonight? Save it for next week? I mean, we're already in an hour and 45 minutes.
It's up to you. I mean, depending on how long you want to go. Let me see. I don't honestly. You could probably do it pretty quickly. But again, it's up to you if you want to do it or not.
Yeah. Let me get through the rest of this chat. Just let's see. Where are we? Kubiak needs to grab his brother Raheem Morris and bring back Pistachio, all wearing Raider versions of NWO shirts. I don't know. Pistachio's not having a good time up in Green Bay with the special teams from what I saw. The special teams weren't that great. Let's see. Rick says that guy was passionate. I appreciate it. His takes their ass, but that is what makes the world go around. Just say you don't agree with them. That's all. I mean,
yeah, it's fine.
See, this is how I know it's Eric too, because I know he's a very religious gentleman. What does it tell you when there's a 90-10 census that we should draft Mendoza?
God is first, I'm second. Come on.
You go. What does it tell you when there's a 90-10 consensus that we should draft Mendoza and all 3 of you are in the minority? You might be wrong, guys. No, we're just not following the herd. We're just I'm looking at it thinking outside the box. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm not,
agreed.
Like we need a quarterback. Just repeating that in my head over and over again, and eventually it just becomes second nature when someone says, "What should we do in the draft?" We need a quarterback. So we get the first pick. Who do you think we should go? We need a quarterback. That's that's how it is. I'm sorry. That's how I see it. I see it in chats all the time. I spend my day watching Raiders shows and other shows on YouTube and shit, and that's all I see. It's Mendoza this, Mendoza that, and that goddamn song. And somebody said it earlier.
The damn song.
Song out there with Fernando.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been Martinez that said it. I forget, but it was pretty funny. Mendoza barely took snaps on the center.
That's another
game.
That's another thing right there.
That is a setup.
True.
Jeff, Nate, have you ever seen a Raiders Super Bowl win? Yeah.
I have not.
Give them.
I have not.
All 3, baby. I've seen more wins than Super Bowl losses for us, that's for sure. Thank God. At least I'm in the positive on that one. Mendoza is not Christian. He's Catholic. Oh, this is going to start another whole fight between Christian. Yeah, no. I don't know why Cleveland doesn't have a logo. It's just,
Yeah, that's true.
Catholics. Christian. See, here we go. We're going to start a fight on religious now. I've seen 2 out of the 3 wins. There you go.
I saw all 3 they're posted on YouTube. If that's the case, then I definitely seen one.
That's a good response. Rick's seen all 3. Yeah, I guess we can just we'll do it. We'll play the game. All right, trivia. Right. Let's end on a good note.
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
Do that, okay? So I will put this up here.
Can you see it? Like it looks good enough?
Yeah. I'm gonna get the trivia banner out of there. Let's see. I am going to take the comments off the window so we can see the whole thing.
All right, perfect. All right, Jeff.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
It's still what?
He says, this is why I don't do live streams. World War III starts. It's fun in a way.
That's funny.
All right. Oh, you know what? Let me get that off of the screen, too.
What is that? Oh, that?
Yeah.
All right. So you asked me to come up with a game, so I came up with some trivia.
Okay.
It's going to be centered around a head coach because I know you always say you can't do really much of anything without having the head coach first. So I thought I didn't know that this would go so Mendoza heavy, so let's switch it up. Uh, so we're gonna start with the head coach because we obviously are in need of one, and it just seemed fitting. So, head coaching trivia. We're gonna start with the Raiders. We're gonna have Raiders specific questions, and they're gonna get easy to, and then go harder, and then we're gonna go to more general NFL questions at the end of it. All right. First question. How many coaches, and I think I reused some of your questions, I'm not going to lie, but
Yeah, I
it's
know
all right.
the answer to this one.
Yeah, so how many coaches have the Raiders had in organization history? A, 19, B, 22, C, 23, and D, 10. Let's see. I'm not bueno. He got it. He said C. He watches our show pretty religiously, so he must have seen it last time. But yes, that is correct. C, the Raiders have had 23 in organization history, and it feels like 20 of them came in within the last 5 years.
Right?
All right, question number 2. Who is the youngest head coach the Raiders have hired? A, John Madden, B, Jack Del Rio, C, Lane Kiffin, and D, Al Davis. Linebacker U is right. Lane Kiffin is the youngest head coach in Raiders history. I believe he was 31, second youngest in NFL history. All right, who has the most wins by number of wins in Raiders history? A, Tom Flores, B, John Gruden, C, Lane Kiffin, or D, John Madden? There you go, John Madden. Coach got it right. John Madden is number 1 in Raiders franchise history with a number of 103. AP, Big Luck said.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's funny. All right. This is a good one. How many Raider coaches have won NFL Coach of the Year for the Raiders? Jeff, what do you got for this one?
I got C.
C, none? Wow, interesting. Let's see. Anybody else? What does anyone else think? How many Coach of the Year awards have Raiders coaches won?
I mean, when did they start giving that out?
So I looked at it. There is like a little bit of gray area, but the one that they go by, I believe, started, which is the AP, the Associated Press, and that's what gives out the one that we know. I believe it started late 70s, early 80s.
Ooh.
So yeah. I see a lot of people, but we're gonna go ahead and go C. That is right. No coach for the Raiders has won head coach of the year, which is honestly was surprising to me when I first researched it. Which is crazy. Like you think back through Raiders franchise history and you think of all these great coaches and they've never won. Like I said, there is kind of a gray area because technically Madden did win his first season, but it wasn't like it wasn't through a newspaper. It wasn't through like the
NFL. Yeah, I got it.
Right, exactly. So
Leno was the first one to say 0.
There you go.
Said C. AO said 0. Edgar said C. Let's see. Who else said it? Raider Pete said it.
There you go.
That's it. There you go. John Raider says Kubiak will be the first one.
I sure fucking hope so. I sure fucking hope so.
I hope if we draft Mendoza, he wins Rookie of the Year too. I do. Don't want anybody sitting there saying that I don't want to see the kid succeed. I want to see him succeed.
Right. All right. Which coach had the most successful first season in team history? Now, this is a little bit up to kind of a opinion depending on what you kind of quantify as successful. But I just kind of want to see what everyone says. What do you think is the correct answer for this one? I see a lot. B, C, A, C. You're going to go with who?
Oh, I forgot about Callahan's season. God damn it.
Pete says Madden is most successful. Callahan took him to the Super Bowl, says linebacker U.
What do they consider most successful, though? Like total wins?
I'll tell you now. We're all correct.
I said John Roush originally because I remember he's only one loss. I just couldn't remember how many games they played back then.
Yep. So Roush in 1967 led him to a 13-1 record, AFL championship, and a Super Bowl II appearance, which of course they ended up losing. Bill Callahan in 2002 reached the Super Bowl in his first year as a head coach. Al Davis went 10-4, turning around a struggling franchise to win Coach of the Year, which was the AFL Coach of the Year, not the NFL. That's why he wasn't in the previous question. And then John Madden in 69 finished 12-1-1 in his debut season. So technically all of those guys were the most successful, depending on how you quantify success, of course.
Jay says, great show, fellas. You all fired up the audience for sure. Yeah,
that's so true.
That might be the most active I've seen the chat since I've been doing this shit. That was insane. I mean, I've never been that far behind in the chat. I was literally at 20 minutes behind at one point. I know I missed a lot of good shit, but I couldn't hit it all. It's impossible.
You did miss a lot of good shit, but it's all right. We were talking through a lot of stuff, but it's all good. All right. So that was the end of the Raiders specific questions. Now we're going to go to a more general NFL kind of head coach. Again, it's going to be, easy to hard. So let's see. Who was the first Super Bowl winning head coach? And this is kind of a dead giveaway right here, but let's see.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm looking at this picture you got up right here. You know where that picture is
taken? I chose this picture specifically for you.
Yeah, you know where this is taken, right? Just so everybody is aware of this. The Super Bowl trophy is made by Tiffany and Company. And where this is actually made every year is about 2 miles that way from my house. So every year that Super Bowl trophy, like the one that they just made for this season, for this year's Super Bowl, was done right here. In my town, right here in Cumberland, Rhode Island. That's Vince Lombardi. That's an easy one.
Yeah, Bueno found the joke answer, Pete Carroll, because he's obviously so old. But yeah, it was. Oops, hold on. It was Vince Lombardi, of course. That's why the trophy's named after him for Super Bowl winning head coach Vince Lombardi, of course, all-time NFL great. All right. Oh, it says how, but who has the most Super Bowl wins as a head coach? A, Chuck Noll, B, Bill Walsh, C, Bill Belichick, or D, Joe Gibbs? I see Jeff's answer. There he is. Linebacker, you got it first.
Mm-hmm.
See, yep, everybody. Oh, Raider P says Walsh, though.
Why does what's his name look like Kelsey Graham from Frasier? See him in the middle there with the microphone from CBS?
Yeah. Uh-huh. But yes, it is going to be C, Bill Belichick. He has 6 Super Bowl wins, all with the New England Patriots, which is most for a head coach in NFL history. And of course, we just talked about Bill Belichick and how he was just snubbed from a first ballot Hall of Fame bid. And so I thought it was fitting to bring him into this conversation and just kind of show that he has the most wins as a head coach. But yes, go ahead.
I just want to read this from Money Chuck real quick. It says, Jeff, no matter how much I disagree with you, I respect you. You know football. You're not an idiot. Well, my wife will disagree with that. A great fan and seemed like a quality human from the heart, brother. I appreciate that, man. And I know there's no hard feelings or anything and shit like that. It's just it's the passion that everybody has for the team. I mean, we all love the Raiders and want to see them succeed. We all have our different thought processes and how we think it should go. So, I'm cool with you. You know that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, if you're counting, Coach says, if we're counting rigged fake Super Bowls, or if you're counting the real ones, it would be Bill Walsh. So, however you think, the ones that are technically technically won in the NFL's eyes is going to be Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
All right. How many coaches made the Super Bowl in their first season with a team?
Ooh.
Let's see what everybody thinks about this one. I
Is
know
that year 2 because you got one this year already.
4, 8, 9, and 10. How many coaches made the Super Bowl in their first season with the team? A, 4. Okay.
I don't think it's as
Anthony
high.
says B. Linebacker U says A. Big Luck A. B, D, B. Total guess A. Final guess. You said A, Jeff?
Yeah.
It is B. It is 8.
And and I started second guessing that because right away I was like, all right, Callahan now, Vrabel now, this
Mhm.
year. I'm like,
Yep.
shit, that's already happened. There's got to be more than that. Yep, I was wrong.
Don McCaffrey, Super Bowl 5 with the Baltimore Colts. George Seifert in Super Bowl 24 with the San Francisco 49ers. Red Miller in Super Bowl 12 with the Denver Broncos. Bill Callahan.
There's 4 right there. I knew it right off the bat, too. Vrabel.
37 with the Raiders. Gruden. 37 with the Bucks. Caldwell. 44 Colts. Kubiak 50. And Vrabel, of course, Super Bowl 60.
Hey, what's up, Rorschach? I didn't even see you sneak in here.
What up, Rorschach? Appreciate you. I have, yeah, this is the first time I've seen him too. But all right. So how many coaches won the Super Bowl in their first season? And if you can name them, you get bonus points. Oh, did I? Hold on. I don't think I put the right answer in these ones.
Huh?
I don't think I fixed it. Oh, okay. Well, I would second guess myself, but four coaches.
I knew of one off the top of my head, and that would have been Seifert.
Yeah, 4 1 or 4 question mark because obviously we have one to be determined at this point. But Don McCaffrey, 1970 with the Colts, George Seifert with 1989 with the Niners, Gary Kubiak in 15 with the Broncos, and Mike Vrabel in 2025 with the Patriots. Yeah, I thought I knew 3 for sure, but then when I seen 4, I was like, wait, did I not change it? So that's my bad. Oops.
Bueno guessed the names: Mike Oxsmall, Harry Ballsack, and Mike Jones. Any of those winners?
No, I know it would be 3. But people are saying Gruden. I do think that's why I think I put 4 though.
Yeah.
Because I that's why 1 seemed to be missing, but either way.
Rorschach, you should have been here earlier because it was some heated arguments going on tonight. We had a guest on with us tonight, and the chat absolutely loved them. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely forgot about Gruden. Not gonna lie, guys. Anyway, how many rookie head coaches have participated in the Super Bowl? So this means their first time being an NFL head coach. How many rookie head coaches have participated in the Super Bowl? Won or lost, but made the Super Bowl as a rookie head coach, first time being a head coach. He said no, Nate. I'm saying Hawks are going to win it, so it'll be 3. I agree. I think the Hawks are going to win it, though.
I'm going with C on this one. I think it's only 1.
Only 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a 3. We got A, C, 3, D, A, D, 2, B.
Thanks, Martinez. Appreciate that.
It's 2. Don McCaffrey, Super Bowl 5, and George Seifert are the only rookie head coaches to win the Super Bowl. And they both won. 2 participated, 2 rookie head coaches made the Super Bowl, and they both won.
Should have been 3.
Who was the third one?
Bill Callahan.
He was a rookie head coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his
Anyway,
first time as a head coach, so it would have been 3. That's why I only said 1. I forgot it. God damn it! I did it again. It's Seaford again. I keep forgetting he won the first year there.
yeah, I realized it said participated, not won.
Yeah,
I should have put one.
technically, in coach back, he was right. It should be 4 now.
I make some.
But technically, they haven't played it yet, so they haven't really participated in it. They're not even there yet. They won't
Yeah.
get this weekend, so.
Vrabel's not a rookie. Vrabel's not a rookie head coach either. Though.
True, you're right. He's not. You're
Yeah.
right. True.
Did Sean McVay make it in his rookie? I don't think he did. No, I know. I have some typos, guys. All right, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, Rorschach, it was pretty good. It was pretty nasty discussion on. Well, the 3 of us up here were talking about what we should do instead of Mendoza, and the chat was basically pitchforks, knives, and throwing hand grenades. Be like Jeff and let
Right?
AI for you, Nate. Be like
No, AI will never be me. They can't replicate me.
Hey, my wheel spin thing was an actual website that I went to, so that wasn't AI. And all my other questions I fucking did research on them. I fucked up on a couple of them, but hey,
guys, I made this at work. Okay, I'm sorry.
They're in the chat doing this shit, so that's why I didn't bust his balls. He did a good job. I appreciate that.
But yeah, just a little trivia, guys. Like I said, it was pretty quick.
Nate was talking about Jeff's lack of tech savvy.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I get, huh?
Coach says you were incorrect on John Roush. His first year was 66. That may be true. I'm not sure either. I'm not saying you're wrong, Coach. I'm just saying I not off the top of my head. I was before I was even born, so. Let's see. What are we talking about tonight, gentlemen? What's on the table? Oh, we're done, man. We've been on for over 2 hours. So we spent the evening starting off talking about the head coaching situation.
Mm-hmm.
Who's still available if we don't get Kubiak. That was one thing that did come up. And then we just lit that fuse and blew up the fireworks factory in the discussion of our lovely number 1 draft pick and what we should do with it and how awesome Mendoza is not. And
right.
disagreed. Energetically, they disagreed. Linebacker says the only United States Marine who ever played college ball but was all pro and played his entire career with the Raiders. Good thing you had Nate and not me and Duncan. What's that supposed to mean? I don't want your propaganda. You guys speak propaganda.
In a shouting match.
Yeah.
That's very true. Very true.
Again, I'm not anti-Mendoza. I'm anti-using the pick for a quarterback. It could be, it could be Bill Nitrate as the quarterback. It has nothing to do with who the fuck it is. I'm only just looking at, I'm trying to pick a name out of somewhere. It's not the kid. It's not him. It's what that position is. I just don't agree with it. That's all. Let's see. From Stockton, but I lived in North Hollywood. Let's see. Tomorrow we'll find out what Clint does with Arizona and Seattle.
That'll be super interesting.
Yeah, I know Brady's flying out to Seattle on Sunday, is what I saw. Because he's not coming to us. Brady's going to him.
Mm.
So I don't know where he went to college to play ball, but he might want to call them back and get his money back. Now, if you watched it from the beginning, he told you where he went and how much he played. Played more than me and you combined, I can guarantee that. I didn't play any college ball. Let's see. What do you got going on, Nate? You got anything coming up this weekend?
Nope, not this weekend. Just chilling.
This is the one thing I did want to mention this earlier. This is something that Ja Raider and I found out the other day. He sent it to me, and I was like, damn, I didn't know that. He goes, I didn't either until I just sent it to you. That Kubiak was trying to get Bowers on his
To the
team.
Saints, right?
Yep. He wanted Bowers in the worst way. So, but they obviously from route. But just imagine if, that's another, I think, feather in the cap for us, is that if he wanted him that bad then, and now he's got the ability to come here and turn him into something even bigger with his ability in play calling, I think that's another notch in our belt for that, where we're not going to lose him, I hope,
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see. I don't want to stop beef, but Patriots and Chargers were at the bottom as far as O-line goes. One was in playoffs, and the other was in the Super Bowl. Yeah, but the Patriots rebuilt their offensive line in the offseason. And they already had the quarterback, and they didn't have a running back. Well, they did have Ramondre Stevenson, but they didn't have wide receivers. They brought a lot of shit in that offseason. They did it, and they did it right. They had the money to do it. Remember, they had the highest salary cap at the start of the season, at the beginning of the season last year. We had 100 and what was it, 115? They had $132 million, and two of our players were over there. 3 if you count Mumford. Mumford was out there playing a little while for quite a bit when the 2 rookies were injured. And now here he is. 3 of our former players are going into playing the Super Bowl for the Patriots. Pisses me off. Let's see. The only thing I got going on this weekend as of right now is tomorrow night, no huddle, 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific. Try not to make it a Raider majority talk time. So it's more for all the teams in the NFL. So again, I know I say this every time, but if you know of somebody that's a fan of one of the other teams in the NFL, have them come and check out and pop in on No Huddle. I'll bring them up on screen, especially if they're a Patriots or Seattle Seahawks fan. I want to get to talk to Pats fans and Seattle fans leading up to the Super Bowl. Or if they're a team or a fan of the Rams or the Broncos who just lost last weekend too. So I'm up for that. What team did Pat Tillman play for when he left the NFL to go? Oh, that was Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Cardinals. But I got nothing else. If we address the O-line and free agency, get a good wide receiver and run it back some depth in the O-line, does that change our draft philosophy? I've already said that, Jason, and I've said this because you and I have talked about it outside of shows where I said if we address the free agency, O-line and free agency, then go get you a guy. That's the only way I'm all for it. Then go get you a guy. If we don't address the free agency, offensive line and free agency, if we do what we did last year in free agency for the O-line, then we're screwed. We're screwed no matter who plays quarterback. It doesn't matter whether it's Mendoza, Geno Smith, Tom Brady in his prime. Nothing would make a difference. Nothing. I'm sorry. So, Jeff, let's say we get Mendoza hypothetically. Can we reinforce the O-line and free agency? I just answered that pretty much. So Jeff is saying I'm not invited. No, you're invited. You guys can be there. I want to talk NFL. That's the whole premise for that show. So we'll see. And the same, if we don't get the O-line fixed, it's a waste of time to draft a QB at number 1. Thank you. That's the first time I've heard you say that, Jason, because everything that you say in the past has all been Mendoza or bust type of talk. So now you're finally agreeing with what I'm saying. Thank you. There's plenty of great free agents this year. That 2021 rookie class was loaded. It's just a matter of if we get them to come here. So with that being said, folks, I'm done. Are you done, Nate?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you for the super chats I had tonight. Thank you, everybody, for your interaction in the chat. We appreciate you. Whether it was nasty, screaming at us, yelling at us, we're big boys. We can take it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
until next time, everybody, go Raiders. Stay safe. I said it backwards. Stay safe. Stay safe.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah.